Welcome back to Poetry and Police, Doing it yours truly, Jigsaw Blake Mandem again. And today I feel like talk about the whole police federation thing and the whole court process and the result of the court case. And right now, the result of the conclusion of the court case has brought a kind of segregation in the Jamaica Constabulary Force as it relates to the police federation, and people are disheartened about certain decisions that were made. It was brought forward that the federation actually won the thing. Me a drive right out of me have wonder where federation really win. But let us look at the facts, or what will happen from now on, right? And even what happened before, right? Because there are certain things that we need to point out. As police officers, we have detectives among us, and even the regular uniform police. We are so trained to see certain things and observe certain things, and then we are trained to base things off of proof. Now, if you are a police officer and you agree with me that everything should be based off of evidence or proof beyond a shadow of a doubt, then keep watching this video. Alright? So the Police Federation would have signed an agreement with the government from 2008 where the 40 hours was concerned. As a result of that 40 hours, the government say, alright, we are giving you an extra 10 hours. We will pay you for those extra 10 hours. Right? Okay. The federation with them, I don't know if them stupid or what, or if they sign this agreement without even putting it out there to the members to see the agreement first, and the members agree with the agreement that was signed. Because it would appear as if they are signing agreements and they're not showing it to the members that, listen, this is what the government is offering us and this is what we are going to sign off to. It would appear as if the federation is just signing documents without the members of the Jamaica Constabulary actually say, yes, we agree with this thing, you can sign it. And if it has been going on, so that needs to stop, bridging. Police Federation chairman members, you can't sign no agreement without the members' permission, because guess what? Any agreement that you sign affects us individually and collectively. So therefore, no agreement should be signed by the Police Federation without the members having full understanding of the agreement that is being signed. Am I right? Am I wrong? Tell me. No. Back to the agreement. The Federation signed the agreement. 40 hour week, 10 week extra. The government says we're going to pay for 10 weeks extra. Federation signed that, So therefore, after signing that, what more should you look for from the government except the pay for those 10 hours? And police has been getting those pays as overtime. So if you do 1 million hours for the week, apart from the 40 hours, you will only get paid for the 10 hours that the government agrees to pay on top of the 40 hours. Now you're following me? That is what Federation signed. Now, lo and behold, now the Federation come now with this wild goose chase now, erupting the Jamaica Constabulary Force, digging up the members and getting the members collectively involved, which was a good thing. But for the first time, you have collectively involved all the members in the pursuit of nothing. Because you were chasing, and only what the Federation was chasing with this lawsuit, or even the demonstration or anything, but what they were chasing did not even exist, brethren. Because the government was already paying the Jamaica Constabulary Force members for that extra 10 hours. So it's whether you work 40 hours for the week or not, you were getting paid for 10 hours extra. So some of us collect money with nothing work for, because a whole lot of members in the Jamaica Constabulary Force don't even work 40 hours a week because some of them lazy. You understand me? You have people who work out 80, 90 hours a week because, trust me, people are put out, and those people deserve that 10 hour extra pay. But this is what the Federation signed, my friends. They signed for 10 hours. They signed to be paid for 10 hours apart from the regular 40 hours. Because they could not sign for anything else. Because if you were signing to be paid anything over the extra 10 hour, then guess what? You would have to let the government put certain things in place to record correctly the time of every member when they start duty and when they end their duties. Not so. That's how it's supposed to go. So before this arrangement, or before this thing was signed, the government should have implemented these machines in the police stations then, or whatever form of documenting the to and from of the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I'm saying signing out, signing in, signing out. If you can't afford the machine, if I even a book, but then you can't just book and leave, can't tear out. You can't just station there, that can't throw away. So the government would have to embark upon installing clocks, time clocks in every police station, so that the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force can truly record their time starting for work, record their time when they're leaving duty. So that means if you come to work and you have left go work, go court, you nobody sign out it because you're still there at work. So then you come back to the station, you clock out and you're gone. Fine. You man still got to cheat the system. That's how it's set up. Understand me? So therefore, the federation cannot carry the government to court. Well, you can't carry the government to court and it will end up just like how it end now. You carry the government to court asking for money that don't exist, asking to be paid for time that doesn't exist. That's what the federation did. Have the members believe that, listen, the government owes us money for time that we worked. Of course we worked the time. Police was working 80, 90, 100 hours a week, and they were only paid for 10 hours. But whose fault it is? It's not the police officer's fault, you know. Is the police federation's fault, because the agreement what they signed to was that the government only pay for 10 hours apart from the 40 hours, nothing else. There was nothing in place to record any form of time. So when the federation will jump up and beat up the mouth and talk about the government owe this and owe that, what the government owe us for? They paid us for the 10 hour. The government does not owe the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force for a dime. So because of the police federation, we would have worked in vain. Because of the police federation decision and their foolishness and their ignorance, police have worked for hours and hours and hours, which they will not be paid for in this life. Will not. Listen what I say. They will not be paid for it, because the time was not recorded. There was no apparatus in place for the time of every police officer to be recorded on duty or off duty. So therefore, if you cannot show that to the government, and listen to me, Mr. Blake work 70 hours for the week, how can you charge the government to pay for 70 hours? And as a result of that, the government is only going to pay for that 10 hours, and the government have been paying for that 10 hours from 2008. So the government does not owe police anything, because the federation signed to that agreement. Sign an agreement that, listen, we are only to be paid for 10 hour extra. So that means if a man do 40 hours and go home every day, still I get paid for 50. That agreement was on our side, who was working only 40 hours a week. But the man who was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and now that is the person that affected negatively, because in work and don't get paid, Mali button. And all this is because of the police federation. So now guess what, federation? You have brought the members down a long trail of nothing, a wild goose chase. A court case that was heading no direction positive for the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, because at the end of the day they will not get any money. And you made the members believe that there were light at the end of the tunnel, which there was none. Understand? So that is what the federation did. So right now, it would appear as if the leaders of the federation are complete idiots. Complete idiots, and they are completely ignorant to everything that they have brought before the court for. So you have brought a case before the court that you can't even win. Can't even win, you know? Because the agreement that the government signed saying that, listen, we only be paying for 10 hours. And you know that. Yet still you sign an... How can you sign an agreement like that? There was nothing in place to record time. Nothing in place to record time for police officers. So tell me now. So, and you must also take this into consideration. Every police work different amount of times. Every police officer. Some police will probably only go work 40 or less for the week. Some police are going to work 50 or 60 for the week. So therefore, individually, every police would have been owed a separate amount of money based off of the time they work. But then again, you can't pay nobody because nobody no have no time recorded. There's no proof that Evan Blake worked 50 hours for the week. There's no proof that John Smith worked 80 hours for the week or not. And that is what the Federation brought before the court. Completely ignorant to everything. Now, what is the ramification of all of this? This negativity, this foolishness. The members are disheartened now because they were following the bandwagon, hoping that there would be some light at the end of the tunnel. And they were looking for the leprechaun at the end of the tunnel, Bridget. When the leprechaun wasn't even there. So we were following him leader of the Police Federation, embarrassingly. No. In his kingdom of ignorance towards the leprechaun, thinking that, believing in him, that listen, at the end of the day would have been paid for what the government didn't even sign off for. And if the government does not even like to pay money, especially this government, so you think they're going to pay for something that they did not sign off on? The Federation was strict. So now, digest that and continue on some other avenue to help police right now, because guess what? As it relates to that kind of money, that is how they do it. That is no more. That doesn't exist anymore. So don't stop talk about you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Because there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to make any police get any money from this. Because guess what? The government did not sign you did not sign an agreement that the government pay for anything else than 10 hours extra. There was no machines in place to record police time, no apparatus. So, what are you going to tell the government? How much hours each police officer work, and they should be paid this amount? Now is the time for you to move forward now. And the 40-hour week is already in effect from 2008. So at this point in time now, you have to go to the drawing board now and make some other arrangement. Because the government you must cast the government between the commissioner of police and the government and the admin officer, that all of these, there's a system put in place to properly record the time for police officers to work. It must be put in place now so police can be paid for the overtime and not just for the extra 10 hours. So you have to revisit the table right now and ensures that the apparatuses are put in place and properly documenting of police time in and off duty starts recording from now forward. But as a result of that, we are look for, you're not going to get that again, and no police not going to get that. You have destroyed the members of the Jamaica Constabulary chairman. And for that, I think it is time for you ignorant people to move on. And put some people at the Federation who finally understand the financial aspect of police salary. And somebody who can at least fight for some kind of benefit for police officers. Because what? Everybody jump up every day. Federation, this federation. Beat up and come get promotion, then you leave the federation. What are you fighting for the police officers? There's so much things that the police officers in Jamaica need right now. We need proper representation. Fight for that now. We're not even talking about salary, because government not paying no money. We need proper representation. Fight for that. Police officers are being abused as it relates to all of these investigating bodies that are put in place. Fight for that now. Fight the FLA. The way they are dealing with police officers as it relates to licensed firearm. Fight the government. Fight the commissioner of police for implementing penalties for police officers who just up and resign or up and retire. For implementing that a policeman have to give 6 months notice before leaving the organization. No, that is the worst thing they could ever implement on police officers. Because can you tell me now? Somebody's in an organization that is not, it is just not right for him. The man's life is in danger, number one. The man is losing his family. The man is not in any good pay. The man is not being paid enough. The man has injuries. The man is stressed out. The man is at the verge of probably killing himself and his family. That is where some members are at, because people don't know what most of the members are going through. And a man decided, listen, I cannot take this no more. If I stay in this organization, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do something bad. A man just get up out of his bed one day and say, listen, I'm done. I can't take no more, or else something bad is going to happen to me. I have to leave this organization. And you are going to tell me that a man has found his peace of mind to decide to leave the organization. But you are going to tell that man that he has to stay in the organization and endure the punishment, the abandonment, the bad treatment, the low salary, the deplorable working conditions, working without equipment for 6 more months before he has to leave, or else if he does not do that, he loses his pension and he is not retired but fired. Example, a friend of mine, I will call his name. I can't say by the name of Nigel Thompson. Man was shot twice in the line of duty in traffic accidents in the police vehicle sometime too. Man took a taxi one day and the taxi was being robbed by a gunman. The man had to jump out, mash up himself. This young man has been through a whole lot in the organization. No, that he has served for a good while. And the man has reached a point in his life when he decides, no more, I can't take anymore. And the man decided that he's going to retire from the organization. The man sending his resignation. The resignation was refused and the man was dismissed instead. So, a man who was shot twice in the organization and have been through hell in the organization and decided, listen, I can't take anymore, I'm going to leave. And you're going to tell me that based off of your new rule and regulation, that man is supposed to be fired. That's what what the Commissioner of Police is doing. That's what the Minister of National Security is doing. And the Federation is not doing about that. But before you do something about that, you are run down things when they exist. You are running down things when they exist. You are fighting for salary. You are fighting for a salary that does not exist. You are fighting for money that does not exist. That's what you are doing. Fighting for what does not exist.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come